So picture this real quick. You've come back home after a tough day, maybe a tough week on a Thursday, and you're just sitting on your couch thinking back to where did it all go wrong. So you start thinking of, why is life treating me this way? Am I really good enough to do what I want to? And the thoughts that come to mind are, how do I get some money? How do I exercise better? Or maybe how do I build better relationships, more quality relationships? But now, while you want all these things, the main idea is that you want them, but you don't want to put in effort to get them. Or you don't want to do the traditional things that are required to get there. Let's say you want to exercise. People would prescribe that you go to the gym, that you work out, and you get your fitness up that way. But maybe there are simpler ways to get there. Maybe there are things that you can do to simplify the process, to make it simple enough for you to be motivated to do it. So what are those things? How do you simplify other tasks to make them as easy? That's what this video is going to be about. Now let's say that you bought a new gym membership on New Year's Day with the intention of carrying that forward and going to the gym every single day. You went to the gym on the first day, you went the second day, third day, but then after that you started becoming self-conscious because every day you wake up, you see this belly in front of you and you're like, I want to change it, but I feel a bit self-conscious in front of other people, but I still want to exercise, but I can't because I become too self-conscious in front of other people. I can't even exercise to begin with. So what do I do in that case? If you are in that case, then the simple way to solve it is to exercise at home. Now, how do you exercise at home? I wouldn't say that you look up exercise routines online and then just try to copy that. You know why? It doesn't work. People don't feel accountable to do that. And you feel, I have it with me, so I can do it anytime I like. I don't need to be here at this time, at this very place, at this very second, because it's available to me anytime. It's just about me appearing. And if I can appear, then nothing else matters. That never works because there's no accountability. You're not held accountable in that moment. So how do you make yourself accountable is the question. The simple answer is, try to get a PT who guides you online, or get a bunch of people who are doing an online exercise program at the same time as you and try to follow them, because then you'll be held more accountable, because you know many people are tuning in at the same time as you who've enrolled for the same thing as you, and so you feel more accountable to appear because, well, I paid for this and there are a bunch of people who are also paying for this and they are coming. If I don't come, it's almost like it's not fair to me because I made a commitment and then I'm cheating myself. As much as you might think that it's not efficient and that's not going to help me at all, maybe you're not going to do anything for the first week, maybe not for the second week. By the third week, I'm pretty sure there will be something in your head telling you, okay, you know what? It was fun for all these 2 weeks where I wasn't doing anything. But think about it, you're wasting so much money. And on top of it, there are many people who enrolled at the same time as you, but they have seen so much progress. Now you are nowhere. And that ego will kick in. That's what you want to trigger. You want to trigger your ego. That is when you're going to realize that motivation comes through. It's not always, oh, I'm doing it for a good cause. That rarely happens. It always happens because your ego was triggered and you feel, now I'm not going to continue doing this because now my ego is hurt. I need to restore it back. And for that, I'm going to do whatever it takes. And then you will go back to the gym. And for that, you will start exercising. You will get yourself back into shape. And maybe that doesn't work for you. Okay, in that case, just start rewarding yourself for every single time that you go to the gym or that you start working out, even if it's at home. Like for example, here's one thing I used to do when I was very unmotivated to go work out. I knew I had to, but I always felt, what's the need for me to go? Because I can just sit at home, play a few video games and it should be fine. Well, that's my thought process at the time. And I realized, obviously there's a time for all that, but sometimes you do also need to invest into yourself. And so to do this, what I invented for myself is every time that you go to the gym, that you complete a workout for the time that I set out for myself. So let's say that I said for 1 hour, I'm going to make sure that I work out for today. If I fall short of that 1 hour, let's say 30 minutes, I do not get the reward. But if I do complete the 1 hour, if I exceed the 1 hour, I'm going to get something in return. And what was that one thing? Not something expensive, just something like a simple chocolate bun. A chocolate bun was all it took for me to keep coming back. So let's say the expense is not going to be too wild. Now, if you're going to think, that's just an expense. I'm going to spend so much money trying to get myself back into shape. But think about this. Would you rather pay for that chocolate bun every single day that you do work out, and in turn you do actually work out and get yourself in shape? Or would you wait maybe 10 years, 15 years and then start paying your medical bills, which will be 10, 20, 30, 50, 100 times more expensive than what you would be spending in the entirety of the time that you work out? Because it's only for the initial period. If you haven't worked out before, it's only for the initial period that it seems so hard to work out. After that, it's almost a part of your life. It's like consuming a drug. It's like, I want that feeling again. I want to keep going back. And because of that, you will keep going back. Without it, life would almost seem empty. So if you want that, you won't have to spend much, because all you have to spend is for that chocolate bun, maybe let's say for the first 5 or 6 months that you are trying to work out. After that, it almost becomes routine. Then it's not a chore to do it anymore. So then you can stop spending on the chocolate bun and you can just focus on what you need done, and that is your workout. If you can get that done, then it's all good. And guess what? It's the exact same thing when it comes to relationships as well. You might think, because I've been there, I'm going to wait for the perfect people to come into my life and then we'll move from there. But guess what? That rarely happens. Because think about it. I want you to think about all the friends that you have, the close friends that you have. When you saw them for the first time, did you ever imagine in your head like, that guy, he's going to be my best friend forever. This guy, he's going to be my main man 21 years later. Probably not. It's probably going to be something like you meet them and then eventually you get along with them, and that's how you find out, okay, who's the perfect person to be a part of my life. Maybe he is, maybe he isn't. Maybe he only has a partial role in my life. He has a crucial role in my life. That's how you differentiate it, but you can never differentiate it on the first day. It takes a long while to get there. So if you want to get there eventually, then you can't be waiting for the people to come to you. Rather, you need to go to them. I'll be frank, whether you want to do this or not, you have to do this. If you have not found the people that you want to be close with, then the problem is that you haven't probably gone out enough. Because there's always a balance. You don't want to go out too often, but you don't want to go out too less either. Because when you're in that balance period, you will know that you're in your balance period. Because here's the thing, if you meet just few people every time, then you're going to end up losing out on many good people that you could meet. But if you end up meeting too many people, then you might attract many bad people as well in that whole sample space. So that's why you want to maintain that balance, because if you don't, then you could end up with two extremes, which neither of them are good enough for you. And so the most important thing is you want to find out the environment that you want to put yourself in, and also the type of people that you want to be with. As much as you don't select your friends, you can select the environment in which you want to choose your friends from. It can be anybody in that group, but the environment has to be right. That's the most important thing. The environment has to be right. That is why it's so important to find out what is it that bothers you the most. What is that thing that you want to simplify so that it can make your life easier? What is that thing that you've been procrastinating on for so long that if you started right now, it could make your life so much more better? So that is why the next time that you come back home tired, exhausted, I want you to sit on your couch and I want you to just say this one sentence in your head. I have this X thing that I want to do, but I'm way too lazy. So what is the next best thing that I can do so that I can do what I want and achieve what I want, but in a simpler way that makes life much more easier for me? And I want you to pause the video right now, right this second, and think about this very statement. What is that problem that you really find that you just cannot get out of your head, but you can find an alternative for? And try to find this alternative right now if possible. Maybe this small pause wasn't enough for you. I would implore you to think about this later on. And if your mind draws a blank, then you go and ask Google and you try to find the exact solution for the problem that you have. You might find that there's going to be some answer which you can relay off and try to find a solution for. So now you've probably figured out how to get started, but now you want to know what you can get started with. Now, if that's your question, then you can check out one of these two videos linked right here. So smash subscribe, slap a like on, and always remember Never stop dreaming. See you all.